6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You crazy mother.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and you're watching BurnDown. So, in today's episode, what we are gonna do is we are gonna focus on the Malibu rear end. Yes, I'm still working on it, and we're gonna try to get that thing done this weekend, hopefully. I've enlisted a little bit of help to help speed the process up. My friend Cam is setting up the third member for me, so I don't know where he's at with that. I dropped that off a few days ago. Maybe I'll swing by and bug him. We'll just pop in and see if they got anything done with it or not. And then I've got some new wheels that I'll show you guys right now that I'm pretty excited about. And then we gotta do some measuring because the backspace kind of doesn't work because I cut the rear down and everything. So we're gonna make some spacers. We're gonna go visit my buddy Roy, go to his shop, and then he's going to turn down some spacers. So we'll talk to him and figure it out, and we're gonna do that. So measuring, field trip, visit some people, and then hopefully at some point put this thing back on the ground. Let's take a look at these fancy new wheels. Bam! This is what we're gonna be riding on now. It is actually just a little EB baby wheel. I can't even pick the box up, but it's only a 7, which is an 8 overall. Same size wheel it's on the car now, and then I cut the rear end down so we have to space them out a little bit. These are only, it's a 0 offset wheel, so it's a 4-inch backspace, which fits, but it's so damn close, not on the rim, on the tire itself. So I actually have to get the tire off the inside of the car. But at some point, since the wheel's so far inset, if I actually notched the frame and mini tubbed it, we could fit a big tire. Because I was looking at it, I could probably squeeze a 275, which is a tire I'd like to have on the car at some point. But for now, these are fine with 8.5 slick, which is essentially that. It's 235. That's what we've been rolling on. So that is that. We got these guys to go down. Lots of fun stuff. Oh, also too, I ended up having a Chevy pattern, obviously on the axles that I stuck in the car because I bought used axles. And then I had to open up the center. So my buddy Rich Tool and Machine punched the Chevy pattern in between the Ford pattern, and then we actually opened the centers to fit around the axle. So these will slide over the axle now once these guys are bolted in place. So let's open this garage door and get rolling. All right, so here's where we have left off. Got the car underneath. I actually added some bracing to the big old standoff and then box that little dude in. So here is the original rim actually on the car, and then it's inset a bit more, and this one actually clears. I've got, once I jack it up, I've got a little space in here, but the rear end's actually off a little bit, so it's this way just a little, I'd say maybe a 1/4 inch. And I've got room for the rim on the other side, but I don't have room for the tire. It pretty much will touch. And then these aren't pressed in, they need to go all the way in. So these will come over even more. So we're gonna have to space these out just a little bit to clear the frame. And that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna put that in, we're gonna measure it up. And then we're gonna go hit up my buddy Roy and go make some spacers that I'm sure all you guys are gonna yell at me for and tell me that my wheels are gonna fall off. Guess I'd make for a good YouTube, right? My wheels falling off, but let's go. Actually, my wife's wheels fell off on her on her demo car.
He beat the heck out of her that
So it won't be the first time that wheels fall off. So there's this bearing that goes in there. I think this razor is probably a little dirty. I should probably clean it out, but this captures it, and I think it down there sits that thing in there flush. So we still had a little more room that it can go in, but I don't want to play hell trying to get this thing back out. So yeah, there's that guy in there. So let's slide a wheel on and then we'll see. And I think, like I said, I think it touches, so we'll just measure for that. Compensate obviously because this thing's not fully seated. And we'll go from there, make some spacers. All right, so that dude is on there. Sounds like it's touching. So yeah, so it's right up against the frame rail. And then this guy, this is close to being seated, so it doesn't have to come out a whole terrible amount. Just enough to get it off that frame rail, so we have a little articulation for suspension. So, all right, the other thing too is there's a lot of slop in there because I don't have a third member in place. So maybe I'll kind of hold that thing in centered somehow. Yeah, because I can't even see it. But yeah, if I hold it, we're close. I have to get a measurement on that, but it's close. So yeah, we're going to push it out. Well, we jumped underneath and measured it. I pushed down on the axle to bring the tire closer toward the frame on the driver's side, and we're about a 1/2 inch. So it's about a 1/2 inch away from the frame on that side, and then this side is touching. But it's not a 1/2 inch out, because if you moved it 1/2 inch, it'd be touching on this side. We're more like roughly a 1/4 inch out, and that would split the difference between a 1/2 inch on one side and no clearance on the other. So a 1/4 inch is not very bad. So I must have put the mounts on a little off, which, hell, that's not really that bad in my book. Other than, since we shortened it, it's an issue, because if I had 2 inches on either side like I used to have, 1/4 inch ain't gonna do nothing. Like, not really that big of a deal. But since it's shortened, it ain't gonna fly. And I'm not buying custom offset wheels, which would fix the problem as well. So we're just gonna space out a little bit to get it off the frame and then call it good. So now that I know where my measurement is, we'll take a trip. We'll throw some stuff in the truck. I'm gonna pull an axle, a wheel, and then we'll go see my buddy Roy. But before we head out, just to show you guys, because I'm excited about these wheels. I wanted them for quite a while, ever since I saw them. Let's test fit one and just we'll just take it in. We'll just take in the Malibu with its new wheels and all its glory. So let's do that real fast. NASCAR, watch out now. Here it comes. Ooh-wee. Check that out. Those things look phenomenal. So, yeah. These things are gonna look so good sitting under that Malibu. Bam. So I like it better than those. We gotta fix that problem too, but first things first. All right, so we made it out to Roy's shop, and then we're gonna get started. He actually had some pistons that we had to put the retaining clips and rings on for his Vega that he popped. And then one of his buddies shows up, and talk about a small world. Look whose old car just showed up. So it's funny because this is my buddy John's wagon to pull in. I'm like, dude, that looks like John's old wagon. Well, it is. So here's your wagon, John Chase, hanging out over here at my buddy Roy's shop. The dude that bought it is friends with him. So all right, let's get after it and see how we go. So I brought an axle, lug nut, this rim, and then I brought my other rim inside the truck. So here we go. Wish me luck. All right, we are moving along. Roy pretty much has one spacer done. He's in there taking up one because we cut the center out without measuring, and it was already pretty much the size, but we need to make it a little smaller. So weld it up, turn it down, and then we'll keep on rolling. But he is an animal. He had this part on the lathe, and stuff was going everywhere. I thought pieces of the lathe were gonna fly out, but he makes me laugh. But man, he's like a bull in a china shop over here. But we're kicking ass and getting it done. So we got one more to do, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll show you guys. Then we'll go grab some lunch. We'll head back over to the house. All right, we are back again on the Malibu. It is a new day. I got home a little bit late, had some other errands and things to run. So today, we're gonna make sure the spacers that Roy made me fit on the car, put the backing plates for the brakes, maybe put the lines and do everything that I can do as far as putting this together. I don't have the third member, but that's okay. I don't need it to make it a roller. I can actually bolt the axles in and it'll still roll around without anything sliding out, because it is not a C-clip rear end anymore since we are a 9-inch. So I'm going to move forward with it, so that way when I get the third member I just put it in. I don't have other things to do. So we're going to play with this. I'll bring you guys along, show you how far we get. It's always something. One thing at a time though. I got to get a SFI flex plate and then a dipstick before I can stuff the power glide back in. Technically I don't need the dipstick. We can do it probably without that because I can stab that in after. But the flex plate is a must. So I think hopefully I can order one this week, depending on how funds go. And we're getting close, but I got stuff on my plate, so let's get this done and then we'll think about the other things. All right, helper, are you ready? You got the most important job. Let me see. You got the bolts?
Yeah.
You got the bolts? Okay. So you help me out? Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this up there. And then you see if you can put a bolt in. Uh-oh. We're hitting, B. Here, put a bolt in there. Take it off. Take it apart. Twist it. Bam, now put that part through there. And it'll hold it in place. Twist it, twist it. Oh, oh, oh. You did it, man. All right. Uh-oh, dirty hands.
Listen.
Oh, dirty hands.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're hitting on the back.
You're getting dirty hands.
So we slid one of those through just to kind of index this thing. And it's hitting back here, I think on the shock mount. So let me move around. Let me get over there, B. Let me scoot over here. So I think this thing is hitting. Oh, awesome. Where the e-brake goes, it's hitting the shock mount. So, man, I think that whole area may be an issue. Let me see how we go, because I can't space this thing out because it's the brakes. So let me mark it.
It can hold on to that.
All right, well, the thing's touching. Let me mark it and see if it's something I can cut off. I'll kind of measure until I start hacking this thing out and see what we can do about getting this to fit. And then I'll show you guys what we end up having to do to make these fit on here. So my helper's gonna help me out.
Dada,
What do you got?
that's the little wheel.
It's a little, this is a brake drum.
That's gonna be the faster one.
I hope so. What do you think?
Good idea.
Good idea. All right, we're gonna get out. All right, so we got this off the car. This is the correct side for this side of the vehicle, passenger side, because it has a hole where the e-brake should go. So I'm just gonna take and scribe around it to where this would be flush with here, and just cut it off, and then we'll see how we look. If we got to cut more and dig into this a little bit, we'll do whatever we got to do to get this thing mounted properly. So scribe it, cut it off, and then I'll bring you back for the test fit, and hopefully she goes on. What's up, man? You ready to cut this thing off? Yeah? Okay. It's gonna be loud.
It's gonna be now.
This is the cutter. Okay? So I'm gonna wear my goggles, and then you stand over there. Okay? You good? Put your mask on. Good to go. Thumbs up. All right, we're gonna do this. I got a few cuts in, and my helper was like, "Nope, I'm out of here. That's too loud." So we cut it off. I'll grind the rest of this flush because it sticks up a little more on that edge, and then that's it. I just freewheeled this thing, freehand, whatever. We'll flush it out, test fit it. All right, so there you go. This thing is flush. This is actually the shock mount through this portion here. Shock fits on. We pretty much had to hack the crap out of this, but it'll work for now. And I think, you know, probably like a wheel would with the little Dane caliper and all that stuff. Upgrade will be in the future, but for now this will get me down the track. It didn't cost me much, and it is on there. All right, after a little struggle, we got that guy, and drum roll, boom, that guy. So these will bolt on, but now in this position, it is too close to this part to get a bolt through this hole here. Bing, bing, bing. So I'm just going to basically put a stud through here and then kind of just weld it on the backside a little bit, enough to where you could grind it and if you had to bring it out. And then it'll just have a little stud on here on both sides, and then the rest of the normal bolts will go through. All right, so stud on this side is done, stud on the other side is done. So I just put it through, I put a flat bolt on the face of it, and then I just boogered on the back side, welded it, tacked it, and then welded it to the back. But at least I've got all 4 of these now in place. A little long, I don't think that'll affect anything for the brake drum rides, but if it does, I can grind it down a little bit, no problem. So. Oh yeah, baby, that's right. She is on the ground. I know, we are not 100% out of the woods, but it's sitting on its own wheels again, and technically I can kind of push it around if I had to. There's no third member. The brake backing plates are not on, but they do fit. So a few more fittings. We'll have everything we need for the brakes to be installed for the last time. My wheel spacing now works. Nothing touches, hits, rubs. We got plenty of room for smoky burnouts. The third member should be on its way. And last but not least, the new rims do fit, but I modified the old lug nuts so I could just put it on these for now. So we're making good progress. If you like this, remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell somebody. Till next time, I'm out.